is right here.
So that's Janana Prabhu Haribol.
Okay. He's from the Punjab. Donald Trump says Punjabis. We like to thank the Punjabis.
Okay.
Sound like it's a kind of a breed of bees or something.
Right.
Anyways, that's funny. It just makes me laugh. Okay, so
Yeah.
let us get started, okay? We're going to do the programs, let's say all the mantras, two of the major mantras to Prabhupada together. Nama Om Vishnu Vidaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Dinamane, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Bhakta Sadharine. Then Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. And Bisanta from Florida, thank you. Guru Das from Hawaii.
Bible.
And also Swarup, no, Rabinder Swarup, sorry, from Amsterdam as well. Wow, international group. All right, so then we're going to just go to the invocational mantra, page 1 from the Bhagavad Gita of the introduction. Please repeat after me. Om Jnana Timirandasya.
Om Jnana Timirandasya.
Jnananjana Shalakaya.
Jnananjana Shalakaya.
Chakshuran Militanyena.
Chakshuran Militanyena.
Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
I was born in the darkest ignorance.
I was born in the darkness ignorance. And my spiritual master opened my eyes.
My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Now, if our host Vaishnavi could bring us to the verse for today, and it's 1877. Hard to believe. Hard to believe. Okay. I have my personal copy here. So I'll go for the Sanskrit and I'll go for the English. And then we have the purport, which could be read by maybe 2-3 people, slow and clear. Okay. All right, so here we go. O King, as I remember, let's go for the Sanskrit. Tatscha samsmritya, rupam atyabhutam arehe. Vismayo me mahan rajan, rishami cha punaha. O King, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I'm struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. Purport, we'll get 3 volunteers on this.
Okay.
Vaishnavi, can you help us?
Nina and Ravindra Swarup and Guru Das.
Good. And Guru Das. Okay. Great. You have somebody representing 3 countries. Yahoo. Okay, let's go.
Okay. It appears that Sanjaya also, by the grace of Vyasa, could see the universal form Krishna exhibited to Arjuna. It is, of course, said that Lord Krishna had never exhibited such a form before.
Thank you. Next.
It was exhibited to Arjuna only. Yet some great devotees could also see the universal form of Krishna when it was shown to Arjuna, and Vyasa was one of them. He is one of the great devotees of the Lord, and he is considered to be a powerful incarnation of Krishna.
Thank you. Next.
Vyasa disclosed this to his disciple Sanjaya, who remembered that wonderful form of Krishna exhibited to Arjuna and enjoyed it repeatedly.
Okay, nice. I think this is the conclusion of any spiritual conversation. People should be in a happy state of mind. There should be, I know that Yugala Kishore will be proud if I say this word, should be feliz. Did I say it right? Feliz. Happiness, joy, ecstasy, perhaps even, because we've come to a good conclusion here in the dialogue. Now, there's a happy moment here, but I think everybody here is well aware that after this happy moment and conclusion, a war is about to, well, more or less, we're in the throes of it. The universal form was manifest, and as long as you live in the material world, there's going to be some wars. As we just discussed, right now in the Middle East, also between Ukraine and Russia, and we have one major one, isn't it? Well, it just keeps going on. It's the war of the worlds, or the world of wars. Marichiloka, the place of death, and also the place of birth. And we should be learning something from all of this madness, and learning to get out of this bodily identification. I'm just reading Govinda Dasi's book, which is entitled The Place of Roses and Sandalwood. No, A Place of Sandalwood and Roses. Here's the cover. I highly recommend for you, peruse, to read this book that came out maybe about a year or two ago. And it's about her encounter. She and her husband, Garrett, who later became Gaura Sundar, were on a big search, like a lot of young people were in those days. They came from Austin, Texas, and they were both university majors. They both studied art and art history and so on. And they saw the world as being corrupted. That was the strong sentiment at that time. And the Vietnam War was one that was very taxing. And I know some God brothers who are still living who were part of that war. They were draft dodgers. They came up to Canada and to escape the draft. They became devotees. That was one good thing. And they chose not to get involved in a war that they could not understand, something they couldn't get behind. The ultimate war is a war within yourself. And that's what the Bhagavad Gita is all about, isn't it, Prabhus? I'm in a band full of people who are chewing on nuts and Indian spices and things like that. Okay, and we all agree that there's there's always a storm going on within. Some people actually question, very much doubt, this war at Kurukshetra. Well, Kurukshetra was there, still is there. Conflict always does happen. There's no reason to doubt that this took place. But even if you have a problem with it, like Mahatma Gandhi had an issue about it, And some people call him Mahatma, which means great soul. But he had lots of doubts about it. But one thing that everyone should agree upon, whether you believe it's a historical event or not, one thing that is 100% for sure is that the battle within is a reality. And that is the struggle between us, the Atma, and all the little demons inside of us. The lust, the anger, the greed, madness, envy, and illusion. 6 cohorts of Kali. What's emphasized in the Gita is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, right? In fact, in chapter 16, it mentions Kam, Krodh, Lobh, that is strong desire, anger, and greed. These are the 3 gateways to hell. So that's what we're fighting, what we should be fighting. You know, you've heard the expression, choose your battles. Well, instead of battling with, say, like your partner, life partner, or battling with people that you should be friends with, the real confrontation should be between you and these other bad, can I use the term badass boys that are within us, you know? The Duryodhana is within us. Kamsa is within us. Ravana is within us. And we should address that. So devotees, Vaishnavas, even though we are nice people, supposed to be nice, at least the people that I'm looking at in this van, they look nice. Especially with the phone, towards them, they look like nice people. But actually, we're warriors. We're fighting every day. We're taking up our weapons and we're fighting with Maya, you know? We're in the boxing ring, heavyweight championship, Maya, and here we are, featherweights. but we have to acknowledge this war. Our dear godbrother, Bhaktimarga Swami, he wrote some books on the spiritual warrior, very honorable, you know, making it very clear. You have to fight. Eating, sleeping, mating, and fighting.
Defending.
Sometimes Prabhupada says fearing or defending. So fight the right battle, not the wrong one. Those are my opening remarks. Maybe Yugalakashur has something else that he would like to add.
Maharaj, no, it's a very interesting point that you brought up. I think in the last time that we were together on this forum, we were talking about introspection as part of a spiritual life, and I think that is part of that internal fight that you're talking about. I just don't see how a devotee cannot be introspective. In other words, that battle that you're talking about, getting rid of our demons, getting rid of our anarthas, fit in within that context, don't you think?
Yes. Yeah. But I always like the conception that, you know, instead of killing the demons, maybe we can convert them. One time,
Right.
Srila Prabhupada also said about Vishnu Jan Swami, said, formerly you were a big demon. Now you are like a devotee or a Gandharva, you know. So I think we
Right.
all fit into that category. I'm
Yeah,
so
because
glad that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you were also talking about Duryodhana. I mean, Duryodhana in the end, he got purified after he was basically, died in battle, and to the amazement of the Pandavas themselves, when they saw him in heaven, they were, kind of surprised that he made it there,
Yeah.
being such a obnoxious person on earth. So that
Yeah.
conversion that you're talking about even applied to Duryodhana.
Yeah, right now we're working on a drama, The Age of Kali, and a playwright, Bengali playwright by the name of Girish Ghosh. He wrote this play I've never read the original script, but devotees from New York tweaked it. But the whole concept is that you change lust into love for the Lord, right?
Right.
Or
Right.
or greed converted to being eager to attain the Lord's favor. That kind of thing, a transformation. So that we can work on. You know, I guess what you could do is make an evil ghost a good ghost, right?
Yep.
Good. We look forward to any other comments by devotees here that are on this call, and just or any questions that you may have. Also, in this very inspired van, we don't mind if anybody here could make some remarks. It is our second last sloka, and it's we're on a happy note here. Actually, Sanjaya is saying, and he's the recipient of this conversation. I'm happy, I'm rejoicing again and again, and Prabhupada credits Vyasadeva for allowing this to take place. He gave the divine eyes to Sanjay to be able to see and hear what's going on between the two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. Yes. We'd like to see the hands flying up in the air, just like in chapter 11. Universal form pops up. So many arms, so many bellies, so many. No, bellies, we don't want arms. Hands, particular. Hands.
I got a question, Maharaj.
Okay, sure.
We usually talk about fighting Maya, and that it's that metaphorical way of saying we have to give up the delusion. But as far as I understand, Maya, it's also a personification, a Devi, Maya Devi, we say, right? So
Yeah.
Maya Devi, can she be we who are on the path of Krishna consciousness? Can we look upon her as a mother and ask her benedictions to leave us alone?
Yes, that's a nice concept. What does everybody feel about that? Maybe, do you like that idea that you ask Maya to leave us alone? Can I have a show of hands on that one?
I mean, it's working for me in the last couple of 3, 4 years. I've been addressing this issue in, fighting my own demons. I just look at her as a mother and I say, I know you're doing your job. You're supposed to do this, but can you please give me your blessing so that I can go around you and go to Krishna. And I kind of feel okay about it, but I was asking for your opinion about that thing.
I think it's okay to talk with Maya. And, Prabhupada explains Maya, Yoga Maya. They're sometimes portrayed as two different kinds of persons. When you put yoga in front of Maya, it refers to a spiritual illusion, right? Like
Right.
Mother Teresa was thinking,
Right.
Krishna's my son. No, he's not God. He's my son. But we know that he is God and that she's under some kind of an illusion.
Right. Right.
So sometimes you can merge the two together. Yoga Maya and Maya are the same. But here's one thing to consider. Everybody knows the story of our dear Maya, who was confronting one of our devotees in the Chaitanya Leela, Haridas Thakur, right?
Yes.
It's explained in the CC, where she approached him for union, and he was just saying, "Well, just wait a minute. I've got to complete my fixed number of rounds," and so she kind of like just fell asleep. And then I'll come back tomorrow. So she came back on the third visit. After Haridas said, "I'll satisfy your needs, your interests, after I complete my japa." So there's a saying, if you can't win them, if you can't, let's say, what is the saying? If you can't win them,
You can't beat them, join them.
Join them. Yeah. So therefore, she decided, okay, what does that? How does that go? You know, I'm going to tell you a funny story that Bhakti Narayan tells because he's a good class giver. He was once on the plane, and there was a woman sitting next to him, and she was so kind of a little bit arrogant, condescending. She didn't like his dhoti, his kurta, his tilak, and all that. And she couldn't. It didn't register with her that who is this person sitting next to me? He was chanting Japa Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And she says, oh. And then suddenly there was turbulence, turbulence in the airplane, it was going, it was making it drop and suddenly moving along, something like that. And then he chanted more, let's say, vigorously, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And she was kind of like getting flustered, not from his chanting, but from the turbulence. The ride was rough. And she said, excuse me, but how do you say that? How do you pronounce that? She changed her heart a little bit. It changed her mind a little bit. And so, of course, I could never say it the way he does. But that is that's the situation. So one of our devotees, Nitai Priya, she does a lot of secretarial work for me. She lives on the west coast in Canada, and she once played Maya, a baby, and so was another devotee who plays Haridas Thakur. So she decided, for her part, she'd shave her head and then put on a wig. She bought a wig, which was like her natural hair color. And when she came in to try to entice Haridas, and she failed, then finally she came in the last scene with her bald head because she had converted to be a Vaishnavi, right? So everyone was shocked. Yeah, but it kind of worked. So there is such a thing as converting. We had one lady. I'm gonna have to get this book to someone else. I just can't balance things anymore here. And she was a ghost expert. She has I guess you call it Bhutagyani, and she was a Western woman. She was an Indian lady. She had visited Toronto, and she was just talking about how she deals with ghosts. She talks to them, she perceives them. How deeply she perceives them, I don't know, but she talks to them and tries to make friends with them. So this is something that we can actually do. Yugalakishore, I mean, if you're having chats with Maya, I thought we were only supposed to talk to Krishna through the Mahamantra, but I guess if we are taking a different spin on it, talk to Maya and try to make her your friend. Hare Krishna.
Well, I'm thinking it kind of worked for me now. I feel less agitated, a lot less agitated about things. Like you were talking about at the beginning of your talk. I become friendlier to people, and I don't take when I have reasons to be upset, I don't take those reasons anymore. But I have that kind of attitude towards illusion. Just said, I know you're doing your job. You're serving a Krishna also. I'm also serving a Krishna. And so therefore, help me out by not getting involved in my life. And it's kind of working out for me. I don't know. Maybe
I
others
think
don't.
that's great what you're suggesting here. We should give a trophy to Maya for doing such a splendid job always.
Yeah. Right.
Give her an award, Well, I like a heavyweight championship award or something like that.
Right.
Good, good. How about everyone else? Is everyone? I have a question. Okay, Maya is portrayed in our literature as a beautiful woman, but what about beautiful women in the Hare Krishna movement? Is Maya supposed to be a beautiful woman, or maybe a beautiful man? How do you, beautiful all the ladies here? How do you perceive Maya?
That's interesting.
Yes. Can we have some of the beautiful women in our, you know? Okay, nobody's ever thought about that one, maybe. Okay.
I heard once in a lecture saying Maya comes in a package which is personalized for each person.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Yes, yes, yes. So if you're a woman and a beautiful man comes into the room, like, you know, where you get all excited inside, oh my God, you know,
Right.
so that is possible for a man to perceive, a woman to perceive a gorgeous looking hunk as Maya. I guess it's possible, isn't it?
I
Well, definitely, it's a fight, right? If you have a life partner, you have to be very careful about, you know, very good, charming people. You have to be very careful. Namacharya, you're very blurry, and maybe that's supposed to because you're a good-looking man. Maybe you're to protect the ladies there. You know. When he
Maybe the
shaved, he looks like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I swear, he looks like Mahaprabhu. And I saw him in a play, and he's got the build and the look. All right, so sorry to point that out to you. Any other comments, Prabhus?
Okay, so Guru Das had his hands up, and then Haripad and Neena.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I just wanted to talk about this Maya, how I perceive Maya actually. I don't know. Since I was small, I always perceived Maya with like Maya as a lady, yes, definitely. But I thought that she never she doesn't have a form, but maybe she has different forms. That's how I thought about Maya. Like she has various forms, and she's not a stable woman. That is how I used to define Maya always.
That's good. That's kind of an insult. Yeah, you know, of course, yeah, Maya is a tricks. What would you call a vixen, a trickster? Huh? Has the ability to change many forms. In our literatures, we hear about empowered people uh, by the strength of their tapasya, they've been able to do amazing things. They're like illusionists, what illusionists do. They can take different forms. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your version of Maya. Haribol.
Hare,
Haripad?
Hare
Haripad,
Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, and Hare
Haripad,
Krishna to
you
all
don't have
the.
any Maya. You don't have any Maya. You're disqualified for saying anything. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. So I was just wanted to share this. So somewhere in the Bhagavatam first canto, I read, I think it is in the purport, and I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find the exact purport or the verse. That I think Prabhupada is basically saying that the relationship between mother and children, and even father and children, is actually quite mundane. And then I was like a little bit shocked, Maharaja, that was. And then, I posted it. I mean, I'm in the Shastra study group. I'm in our temple has a chat group. So I posted it, and, I said, yeah, I really don't understand this verse. So, so that's happened, a couple of weeks ago. And then last Sunday was Father's Day. So I was in Cleveland, and our dear Patita Pavana Balaram Prabhu gave a fantastic lecture. It was basically from Srimad Bhagavatam. And then and suddenly it struck me, Maharaj, that just a few days ago, and also it happens every now and then, that in India also it happens, and more often, I would say, in the Western Hemisphere, that fathers kill their own children. And then I remember, like a decade ago or some time ago, there was a mother who killed 5 of her children. 5. All of them were very young, and all of them were killed in her own house in the bathtub. So
Wow.
I was thinking, then suddenly it struck me. So I responded to the Sunday, talk, or, it was a discussion at Cleveland. I said, now I really get it why Prabhupada said that the relationship, even between children and their parents, is actually mundane. The only relationship which is not mundane in the material world is the relationship between you and your Guru Maharaj, and through your Guru Maharaj to Krishna. That is the only relationship which is really important. And I felt, oh my God, initially when one reads Prabhupada's purport, it may seem like, I don't understand this. Maybe Prabhupada was not right, or maybe something was wrong. And then, it's suddenly struck me that, even that sentence, which is so shocking, that, a relationship between children and their parents is actually mundane, can actually be true, because it was true in so many cases, like I just described. So what are your thoughts, Maharaj, on this? Because last Sunday was
Well,
Father's Day too.
yeah, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, all the fathers and potential fathers. Happy Father's Day, belated. Hare Krishna.
And
Yes, there's situations where, well, I mean, one angle is that when you look at family, you can be very distracted from your spiritual life, because you're so much in love with them. And sometimes it's the opposite, right? You're just frustrated. Seems like everyone's ganging up on you. They're supposed to be family members. Um, yeah, I guess two people who fall in love deeply, madly in love, and then they turn against each other, and they talk about divorce and stuff like that. Yeah, it's, I would say this. If somebody like Yukala Kishore, he was talking about love Maya, right? I think that's what you're trying to say. Respect Maya,
Respect, yeah, respect.
So why don't just let's respect everybody, family or
Right.
non-family, because Duryodhana, Krishna, uh, Krishna points out to Duryodhana, you're a good statesman. You know, you've got some good qualities. There's a deer coming. Here is oh, Krishna. We just missed him. Oh, whoa, oh, and all the
Hare
traffic
Krishna, are
behind
you all
us.
okay, Maharaj? Are
Yeah,
you
we're
all okay,
okay.
please?
Really, it was like we were a foot away.
Oh my
Yeah, it
God,
was a
okay.
young deer, and we saw him coming. I was pointing out to everybody. Oh, you were talking about Maya, and he was going in the median. This is like 4-lane highway, and then he decided to turn around and come back, and says, "Wait, he's coming, and we're going to hit him," and we just missed him. Our dear driver, Balakrishna, I think is Krishna's mercy, is Krishna's Parthasarati. He's the perfect driver, and he slowed down at the right time. Okay, so where were we? Or where was I? And why?
So
And why?
we were
Okay,
talking about
so
Maya, and
let us respect everybody. Let's respect Duryodhana. Krishna said, you're a good statesman. People love you. So I mean, it's hard to say, but like Hitler, he was a vegetarian. He had a soft spot for animals, but he had an incredible hatred towards certain group of people, but somehow or other there's something good. I mean, somebody in my life might have made a bad story about me. It was no truth whatsoever. And that's what sent me on the road, starting walking. How could anybody be like that? A devotee. And then I had to deal with it. I'd walk and walk, and I'd think about that person once in a while. And I just think, uh, uh,
You are frozen, Maharaj. You can.
Hare Krishna, he's probably
okay,
frozen
there's
because of the road.
It's probably got some good qualities there.
We
Everyone's
lost the
laughing.
connect. Maharaj, your
Oh.
connection was broken for the last like 30, 40 seconds.
Okay, I was just thinking that, we all have encountered difficult people and like bullies, the bully in your life. And some or other you have to see that maybe with this, with the coming from the angle of compassion, well, that person is a jerk because he or she went through some difficulty themselves. So I try to see it a different way. They're troubled. I shouldn't be troubled. They are troubled. And they went through a tough time in life. They need a break. So maybe I could be that break. I could like them despite their nastiness. And the last remark I made was that Trumpty Dumpty, you know what I'm talking about, Mr. Trump. I think he's quite crazy, and he makes a lot of wrong decisions. But still, I think there's some good in him. Maybe some of his policies are okay, so I think that devotees must strive to see the good in all. I think that's what's going to help you in your spiritual growth. Good. Thank you. We have another hand up. Vaishnavi, you said?
Guru Das.
Gurudas. Gurudas, go ahead. Gurudas, you're.
Haribol. Sorry, my voice is a little off.
Your voice.
Yeah, a little scratchy voice. I liked your point about I liked your point about how the Kurukshetra is battle in our heart, and in Krishna Samhita, you reminded me of Krishna Samhita, which you directed me to. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Krishna Samhita, and how we're all fighting the demons in our heart, and
Yes.
And the demons in the Krishna book, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, also represent different sort of demons in our heart. And,
Yes.
And Krishna in the heart kind of is there to help us fight those demons. So I thought that was a good point you made. And rather than getting fixated on the historical accuracy of these stories, we should try to understand their meaning.
Yes. Yes, very good. Thank you for raising those points. It was I was able to capture most of what you said, despite the fact that you lost your voice.
Yeah, sorry
I
about
hope
that.
you find it somewhere. That's so. Is it under the couch? Did you look there yet? Under your desk? In the refrigerator?
No, just a scratchy throat.
Scratchy throat. Okay. Good. Nice. Any other points that we want to cover? We just have a few minutes left. I see somebody there. Yeah. Yugalakishore, go ahead.
Yeah, Maharaj, as far as Haripada Prabhu's point of fatherhood and motherhood in the mundane plane, I was thinking Lord Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, he points out that he's represented by the father and the mother.
Yes.
And in fact, Krishna says, I am the original seed-giving father. In other words,
Yeah.
the feeling of motherhood and the feeling of fatherhood is actually a psychological reflection of the same feeling Krishna has for all
Yes.
living beings. So along those terms, I myself being a father, I came to the conclusion that even though, I have certain affinity, stronger affinity for my children, I also have affinity for other children, other people's children. So I'm thinking the way to purify this material conception of fatherhood or motherhood is to see oneself as a reflection of the same feeling that Krishna has. And so that way the devotee can, not get entangled emotionally in fatherhood, motherhood, this and that. And so just being a reflection of that pure feeling that Krishna also has. And so that way is to counteract the risk of falling victim of Maya again, of thinking, I'm the father of these kids and everything, everything depends on me. And, what the Bhagavatam says in that famous verse, Dehapati akala tradishu atmasandhyeshu satsapi. Prabhupada, when he translates that verse, he's very heavy on the thing of having a filial affection for wife, children, etc., etc. But if we see that I'm a channeling this energy from Krishna himself, being the father and the mother.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Very nice. Very deep thoughts. Appreciate it so much. Good. I hope that inspires others to, offer some remarks before we get to our final takeaways. Is there anybody else who has something they'd like to offer on our topic today? Just getting us back to where we came from,
Namacharya.
chapter 18, text 77. Yes, go ahead, someone else?
Namacharya.
Hare
Namacharya,
Krishna.
go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. I'm sorry for the blurred camera. I put a UV filter on my screen and now it has blurred out my camera. But the comment that I wanted to make was in response to Yugal Kishore Prabhu's point about praying to Maya to leave us alone. And I would say that that approach is definitely effective. But I find that if instead of trying to avoid Maya or run away from her, if we just turn her into service for Krishna somehow, then the same Maya can transform into Yog Maya. And then it can actually become the greatest vehicle for support in order to us to come closer to Krishna. So, and one of the examples I would say that that we learned from you in this case is that how you have used different genres of music in your dramatical creations, and that has been a great inspiration just to see that how this music, which would ordinarily be considered as perhaps sense gratification, but now engaged in service of Krishna, it has become such a vehicle for us to see the incredible creativity with which we can now portray the same messages in a way that can touch the hearts of people.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I think of we heard about when Jesus went for 40 days and 40 nights in the desert and fasted. And then Satan came to visit him, came in front of him, and he kind of took a very strong stance against. He didn't actually welcome Satan. He said, Satan, get ye behind me. I don't want to see you. So there's that approach. And there's also, a positive way of looking at anything. I guess if Satan or Maya stands in front of you, said, thank you for helping me to cultivate my humility You're very strong. I'm very weak. I really appreciate what you're doing, you know. Let me touch your feet. Hare Krishna. All right. Thanks for the compliments. One of our devotees here showed me a screenshot of you as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Can we share it somehow? Nityananda, are you able to do that for us? Not to embarrass you, but for Namachari. Can you get it on here? I don't know. Okay. He's going to take the phone. Is that okay? Talk about transformation. Okay. And while that goes on, we, you know, okay, somebody is say
So this is Namacharya Prabhu. Can everyone see?
That is amazing, Maharaj. That he really looks exactly like how. That is amazing.
That is the photography of Ravindra Sarup Prabhu. So I have nothing to do, as you can see. Yeah, I have nothing to do with that. That is the photographic magic of Ravindra Sarup Prabhu's hand.
And it's Ravinder Swarup there who's with us, who's one of the main, he's the sort of the objective eye that looks at him. They help each other and to go for that transformation with the cloth, the material, with the makeup and everything. Wow. All credit to you guys. You're thespian artists. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your inspiration always. Mahaprabhu is, we just see him in you. So that's how. Thank you so much for your mercy always.
You're too much nice. Okay. So we have Arjun who's got his hand up. Arjun from Tampa.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Please accept mine.
I was listening to a class today, and the Buddha said that we are all Satya Avatar because without Krishna's power, we wouldn't be able to do anything here. Even he said, even Lord, even like Bhaktisiddhanta, he said that even Hitler was empowered to kill people, but that's Krishna, like giving that power.
Oh wow. Yeah, right. It's a sensitive topic. There's a lot of Jewish people, devotees down there.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Yes, well, Daivi Shagunamayi, Mama Maya Doratyaya, Mam Evaye Prabhatyante, Mayang Etam Tarantite. I'll have to admit that verse, Deviation, it's from the Gita, is one of my favorite because it's indicating that material nature is very strong. And when I say nature, I'm talking about the very Krishna's energy, which can oftentimes come across as very negative, very overbearing, overwhelming. It's very strong. And it's easy to surrender to that powerful energy because of its potency. However, Krishna is more potent. And the material energy is strong because Krishna is strong. Krishna is the strongest, stronger than his own Maya. So he can never be overtaken by it. Those are some of the points made by Prabhupada. I just want to mention to everyone, we're going through some incredible scenery right now. Not mountains, but deep valleys. And you can see for miles and miles. That's really nice. I wish we were all here on a magic bus together. That would be so nice. Okay, so I think we should do takeaways, if you don't mind. I think it's a good time to start on the takeaways. And we're going to implore all our devotees in this band to also participate. But we'll start with our regular crew. And I want to thank everybody. This is our second last verse, our studies of the Bhagavad Gita. And next week it's a milestone. And I think we should have a big party after this. I don't know where. maybe we can have the week after next week, just go over some reflections. Everyone should put their thoughts together and just talk about what you gained from this, being together every week, and what were some of the high points through our discussions. I think that'd be the best thing. And some people can bring refreshments to the table, cheese or a chicory drink or something like that. All right, so let us get some comments together. Vaishnavi is going to help us to coordinate this. She's got a very difficult job. Let's give her a little applause for her wonderful hosting of this show. And it was her idea in the beginning. Let's thank COVID for making this happen. All glories to COVID,
All
and
glories
Govind
to
too.
God.
COVID and Govind. All right, so takeaways, shall we? I was getting tired of 4 words. Why don't we just try to narrow everything down to 3 words, the summary of our discussion today. Is that all right?
Yes, Maharaj. Nina, you have your hands up. You want to say
She's
The
going to start off.
takeaway, yeah, I'll take.
Yeah, but be nice and loud and clear because our engine is making lots of noise, and I think some people are burping behind me or something like that. Okay, Nina, go ahead.
Okay, Krishna is eternity.
Krishna is eternity.
Eternity.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I like it. Next, this has to go very smoothly.
Arjuna?
I'll go later. I'll go later.
Okay, so whoever has their mics open, then I will call them. Okay. So Nina, after you have done, can you mute yourself? Okay. Yugalakishore, you want to go?
Yes. Offer respect to everyone, or respect for everyone.
Respect for everyone. Thank you. 3 words. He did it.
I did it.
Gurudas?
Fight demons inside.
I'm sorry.
Fight the demons inside.
Fight the demons inside. 4 words. We're looking for 3 words. It's a little more
Fight
brain
demons
exercise.
inside. Fight demons inside.
Thank you. Audible. Very good.
Haripad?
I have one.
Devi is a
Good word,
Gunamai.
demons inside. Good. Go ahead.
Devi is a Gunamai.
Daivi Gunamai. Is that what you said?
Is a Gunamai. Yeah, the verse that you quoted, Maharaj, Devi is a Gunamai.
Okay, 3 words, I guess. Yeah, all right. Audible.
Namacharya?
Let's say Maya mirrors Yog Maya.
Maya mirrors Yoga Maya. Audible. Next.
Jai Gaur Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Krishna is unlimited.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. 3 words. Yes.
Krishna is unlimited.
Krishna is unlimited. Very good.
Tribhuvaneshwari?
Maya is very strong.
Maya is small.
Ravindra Swarup?
Next.
Maya serves Krishna.
Maya serves Krishna. Jai Ho.
Arjuna?
Krishna's our parents. I think Maharaj froze.
Yeah. I think Ravindra Swarup, you stunned Maharaj. Uh-oh.
Oh, disconnected.
Yeah. I'm sure he probably will be back, or maybe he was not back. Maybe he won't be back. Okay. Well, we can finish it. We'll maybe wait for a few seconds and then we can finish the rest. Others can also say their takeaways and then we can close the meeting. Looks like he is not coming back. Okay, so who else? Vasanta?
Mahayogeshwaro Harihi. I just like that phrase a lot.
Oh, he is back. He is here.
I guess we can't send a message. Oh, we're
Hare
back.
Krishna.
We're back.
Hare Krishna.
Quickly, everyone, get it done before it happens again.
Yeah. So Vasanta,
Okay.
go ahead, please.
Yeah, I said
Vasanta, hurry, Vasanta, fast.
Mahayogeshwaro Harihi.
Maha Yogeshwara.
So, Harihi, I think it's 11th chapter.
Thank you. Well, I don't know. We've gone to, we're getting into Sanskrit, Sanskrit now in our takeaways. I guess
Well, I like that phrase a
Haripad
lot.
started it.
So,
Haripad's guilty. He's the guilty one.
that
Okay.
sounds so beautiful.
Arjuna, you were saying it right last when we got cut off. So you go ahead, finish yours.
Krishna is our parent.
Krishna, our okay. You got away with it, 4 words. But anyways, next. Who's
Vaibhavi?
next?
Maya protects Krishna.
I protect Krishna.
He is, yeah. He left the meeting. Or okay, maybe there is a possibility he may not be coming back because it's already past 6. So I was going to say thank you, Maharaj. That's anyway.
We still have one more
Who else is here?
last stanza, right? One.
Yes, we have one more. Yes, the real last, yeah. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Yes. So, all right. So thank you so much. Want to check out the
Vaishnavi, Maharaj is right that you did such a...
No, but he is the one who started this. It's not my idea. I had no, he is the one who started this.
But you did such a good job of...
this is something anyone can do. That's all I'm saying. I'm thinking. So,
Yeah.
know you did it so calmly
Yeah.
and
Hare
efficiently. So,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Vaishnavebhyo,
Hare
Vaishnavebhyo.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
devotees. Take
Hare
care.